Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast, Unlocking Minds. My name is Shamir Riaz, and thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy this content. Please like, subscribe, and share because today we're going to be talking about self discipline and the importance of it. So, before we get started, I just wanted to discuss what this podcast is all about, and it's basically about self improvement. Our mind could be our greatest ally or our greatest enemy, and by taking control of it, by unlocking it, by learning new perspectives, we can use our mind as our greatest weapon and become the best versions of ourselves. There's a quote that I've always lived by, and that is we place the only limits that we have are the ones that we place upon ourselves. And a lot of people sell themselves short. A lot of people tell themselves that I can't do it, I can't do it, and I don't want that mindset. I don't want anyone to have that mindset because if you put your mind to it, you could do whatever you want. You're unstoppable. You just have to grab that version of yourself. It's out there. So I hope all my content can help you guys grow, and I hope it helps me grow too. Thank you. So, what is self discipline? Well, self discipline is when you have control over your weaknesses and feelings, and you leave your temptations and desires behind, and you do what you need to do. So, if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to go to work, you still get up and go to work because you have to do it. You discipline yourself, you tell yourself, I need to go and earn some money so I could have a living. Same thing with going to the gym. Sometimes you don't want to go, but you tell yourself, no, I have to put my feelings aside because my goal is to become a stronger version of myself. I gotta get bigger and stronger, so I need to go to the gym. So, how do we achieve self discipline? It's a very challenging thing, but with these steps, I hope you guys can attain that as well. So, the first thing that I would tell to everyone is that you have to set aside your motivation and you just have to learn to do things and understand the difference between it. A lot of people feel motivated, and now because I have this motivation, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. But motivation isn't gonna last you. You're gonna feel motivated, and over time, you're gonna get tired and you're gonna become fatigued overall. So you have to set aside that motivation. Don't bank on motivation. Put that thought into your mind that, okay, I'm motivated, that's good. But now I have to keep doing this despite the lack of motivation because we're all going to have bad days. Hardships are always going to come to us, and we have to be able to overcome that. So the first thing is motivation is not the answer. It's a good start, but it's not going to last forever. So if you keep telling yourself, I need to be motivated, and oh, I don't feel too motivated today, you're gonna keep setting aside all your goals and tasks, because life is hard, and we're not always gonna have the best of days. It's gonna be, we have days where we just feel like utter garbage, but we have to push through that. So, because if you don't, you're gonna keep telling yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't feel good, so I'll do it the next week. All that does is just waste your time. So we have to put that into our mindset that motivation is not the key. It's a start. You feel motivated, okay. And self-discipline will take over the rest. So how do we get there? This is step number two. You gotta stop with the excuses. And everyone always has an excuse. And I say that there's three types of excuses. You got your weak ones, which is the ones where people say, oh, I'm just so tired. I don't want to go out today. Or it's too cold. I can't go for a run today. I have to do this, that, and it's like, those are just small excuses because you could push through. And then you have the second level of excuse where you start comparing yourself to other people. Oh, well, you're only able to do this because you have a car, so it's easy for you to commute. Okay, so what? You can't just bank on what other people have and tell yourself that it's okay. If you don't have it, you have to look at what you do have. Play the cards in your hands because everyone has advantages and people have their disadvantages. No one has a perfect life. So look at what you do have and use that to your advantage and go ahead and go grab it. Don't compare yourself to anybody else because you're always going to lose. So that's excuse number two. Now, number three is a bit controversial. So these are like the bigger things, like if you have a child and you have to stay back home with your kid, so you can't do a lot of things. Okay, fine. These type of excuses is stuff that it could either be legitimate or it's an excuse, and you need to ask yourself that question: like, is this really an excuse? And if you see yourself like with a child, you don't want to do stuff because you just take care of them, which is fine, okay, totally fine. But let's say your boys pull up and they say, yo, let's go to a club, let's go have some fun. Okay, yeah, fine, let me go drop off my kid to my parents' house. Like, come on, like you could have done that. You could have dropped off your kids to your parents' house, done your other work as well, and came back. Or I've seen some people, they bring their kids to the gym. They bring their kids with them, and a lot of these facilities actually have places for children. So, like I said, the third one is a bit more extreme. That's something that you have to ask yourself, is it a legitimate excuse or is it a responsibility? But once you start realizing these three types of excuses and you start to eliminate them one by one, then you could propel to the next step.